Hi guys, welcome to my video and my YouTube channel. My name is Ronnie and I made this procedural dungeon tutorial part 1 some weeks ago, and you guys completely blew me away with the amount of interest in this dungeon tutorial. I got a lot of views on this video and I got a shit ton of positive comments saying that people loved part 1, and it was completely mind-blowing to me. I was not expecting anyone to watch that video at all. I mean, how many people in the world need a random generated dungeon? I don't know. Apparently a lot of people have been looking for a tutorial like this, including myself. So guys, I'm blown away by your support on this video and this channel. So naturally I want to move on and make a second part for this tutorial. In this video we are going to expand this procedural dungeon. I'm going to show you how to make a seed system for the dungeon, so you can get a completely random dungeon, but you can also type in a seed number and get the exact same dungeon every time you press play. It will be an option that you can easily select. I will also show you how to create like second floor of the dungeon, like, you know, basement, first floor, second floor, and so on. I will also show you how you can spawn different things in the dungeon. In this case, how to spawn gold coins and how to spawn treasure chests. And this could be anything that you would like it to spawn, like enemies, traps, player character, anything you like. So guys, sit back, grab a cup of coffee and some popcorn, and let's begin. Alright guys, let's take a look at what we created the last time in part 1. We ended up with a pretty awesome looking dungeon, right? And these hallways are really splitting up the dungeon in a great way, right? I hope you guys have made some more interesting rooms than I have right here. So it's all a matter of the rooms, right? The more awesome and different rooms you have, the more awesome this dungeon will become. So the first thing I want to do here is to set up a system for the seed. So you will be able to type in a specific seed for the dungeon, and that will be the same dungeon. It loads every time as long as you're using that specific seed. And I will also make sure that we implement a system so you can also get a completely random dungeon every time, right? So you have both options, completely random dungeon or a specific set dungeon every time. Okay, so just before we do that, I just want to show you guys that you can right click on a folder and you can set a color for the folder, right? So you can get some badass looking folders, right? And you can easily find it. And you can also, can you drag it into the favorites? No, you can right click and add to favorites, because we will be using this folder all the time. And as the project scales up, it's very nice that you can find your most important folders all the time. So let's get back into our dungeon generator here. And let's see what we need to do. We need to just find some space here. Let's make a custom event. You should know what a custom event is by now. And we will call it seed set seed maybe. And we need an integer. So go to the variables, make a new integer, call it seed, and make it an integer. Compile it and grab it, drag it out, get seed. This is our seed. This is the, so you type in 555, and every time a dungeon spawns and the seed is 555, it will be the same dungeon every time. Change the seed to something else, 55555, I don't know. It will be a different dungeon, but it will be the same every time this number is the same, right? Then we will make something awesome. So if we put in -1, it will always be a random dungeon. So let's just try and make that to begin with here. So drag out from the custom event, type in branch. We will make a branch. So we say if this seed is equal, type in equal. If it's equal -1, plug it into the branch, So if it's -1, we go on the true and we will create a completely random dungeon every time. If it's not -1, right here, it will be a specific number every time. So click on the seed, now it's -1, it will make a random dungeon. If we type in something else, it will go to false because it's not -1, and then it will create this exact dungeon every time. And now comes the tricky part, which I will probably not be able to explain because I don't understand how it works. We need something called a stream. So if it's -1, if we want the random dungeon, we go out from true and we will type in random stream and we will select the one called seed random stream. This means that this stream will be random, and it's the stream that kind of it's the stream that kind of detects the number of the dungeon, the dungeon ID, right? It's the exact same thing as the seed, but this is an integer and this is a stream. And I don't know what a stream is, but this is what we're going to use. Everywhere we are doing something random, we won't, let's see here, random integer. Every time we use something like this, we don't want to use it, we want to use the stream. Okay, this is already confusing for me. Let's just move on and I will explain it down the road. So we right click on the stream and say promote to variable, just to make sure we are getting the correct variable to plug in here. And we will just call it stream because that is what it is. So guys, if the number is not -1, we want to go out here and we want to set the random stream seed. So set random what? Maybe we need to copy this one. Copy the stream and set random stream seed. I don't know why it didn't work before. Set random. Okay, I probably just spelled it wrong. Alright, anyways, if it's false, if it's not -1, if it's anything else, we will go down here and we will plug in the seed. So copy this seed, paste it in here, plug it in here. That means that this stream will get this seed number. Over here, if it's true, if it's -1, it won't get the seed number. It will just make a random number for the stream. Does that make sense? This stream is not getting any information from the seed, but down here, the seed is, pasting all the information to the stream. So the stream gets the same number as the seed. Does that make any sense? And guys, this is nuts. This is basically everything you need to do to control if you're getting a random dungeon or if you're getting a specific dungeon. But of course right now it's not doing anything, but let's just make a comment here and say set seed if -1, then it's random, right? We don't color it green now because we don't know if it works. So where do we do this? I think we need to do that in the very beginning. Before we start creating anything, we need to get the seed. So drag it in here from the event graph, set seed. This is the custom event we made. And now we're playing that as the first thing when this dungeon plays. But again, nothing will happen because we need to put in that stream everywhere we're using something random. So let's go down here. What do we have? Spawn start room, that will be the same. We don't need to do anything there. Here we have a random. And to make this work, we need to get rid of this random node, right? So we drag out from exit list type in stream. Yeah, there's not a lot of options. Random array item from stream. Grab that one, then get your stream over here to the left, drag in the stream, get it and plug it in here. So now instead of getting a random room from the list, it's getting the room from the stream. And this stream, you know, it has this number. Let's just say 111. That is the seed number we created in the beginning. And that means that is also the number which will be in this stream. I mean, it doesn't mean that it's getting exit exit number 111. That's not what it means. It's just a number. Holy shit, guys, this is already super complex to talk about and to explain. I mean, it's just the stream number just determines how everything is laid out in the dungeon, which means it will spawn the same rooms, it will use the same exit, it will use the same spawn points when we get to that later on. Everything will be the same. I just proved that I cannot explain how this stream works. I think it's just a number, a reference number that it uses for everything. I don't think I can explain it any better. I'm pretty sure if you know how to explain this better, please write it in the comments. I would love to read it. The thing is, now we take this random from stream and plug it in to the selected exit point, and then we delete this random. Delete it, make it pretty. So now every time next room is created, it will use the same exit point. Because of the stream number. If I change the number, it will change the exit points that is getting selected. But this is only the exit points. We need to do the same for the rooms, which is this one, the room list. Which rooms are we selecting every time we get an exit point and we need to choose a room? Which room is selected? Right now it's just completely random. We don't want that. So drag out from the room list, type in stream, random array from stream, get the stream down here in the variable list, plug it in to the random stream, and then plug the out item into the class. Remove this random because it's not really random anymore. It's determined by the stream, which we select by typing in what seed we want in our seed integer that is getting passed on to the stream. Let's just go through. Do we have any more random stuff going on? I don't think so. No more random. Close holes. Alright guys, let's see if it works. Right now the seed is set to 111. Let's press play. Right now we have 30 rooms to test out. Oh, it didn't have enough time. You see, it makes the same. This is a good example. I think right now the timer is running out, right? So we don't have time to finish the dungeon, but you can see it's the same dungeon every time. Which means it works. Let's just, let's give it some more time. Where did we do that? Max dungeon time. I mean, again, it's been a while since I worked on this tutorial. 15 seconds. Let's see if it works. Same dungeon, so something is working. Dungeon complete. There we have it. Let's change the seed number down here to 222 222. It's a lot of twos. Compile. It doesn't really matter what the number is. Could be 10,000 millions or it could be 1. Doesn't really matter. Remember this dungeon? Let's try again. it makes the same dungeon, right? I think it's the same one. Yeah, it's doing the exact same thing every time. See, this is pretty cool. So let's try and put it to -1. Let's go down to the seed, type in -1, right? Remember what happens when we put into -1. If the seed is -1, if that is true, we just select a random stream number or whatever. Yeah, I think it's just a number. So instead of it getting the number from the seed, it just gets a random one if it's -1. So I'm hoping this is working too. Let's see, let's get some more space here. That's a very odd looking dungeon. See, this is a different, so it's random every time. So what we can do, we can go down to the seed, the integer. We can over here to the right, instance editable, expose and spawn. If we're going to spawn the dungeon in some other way, we want to expose it. That just means when we select our dungeon generator here in the level outliner, then we have the seed down here. The default is -1. We can set it to something else and it will be the same every time. Same dungeon. And it will take the exact same amount of time because it's doing the exact same thing every time. It's still spawning overlapping rooms. It's the same overlapping rooms every time, so it will take the same amount of time. Set it back to -1 and we will get a random. Oh, set it back to -1 down here. We will get a completely random dungeon. I think you're getting the point now. This is just super important. Also for troubleshooting, right? You can find a dungeon that doesn't work. Maybe it just ends up using all the wrong exits every time. Then you can set it, you can get that seed number and you can try, by spawning the same dungeon all the time, you can try and solve the lack of exits. You know, it's good for troubleshooting because you can get dungeons that doesn't work and you can try and fix them. So guys, I hope that makes sense. Now we can make this one green because it works. We can put it in anywhere where we think it looks good. So seed is very important. I think maybe for troubleshooting we can go back in here and we can make a print string. So no matter if it's true or false, it will go to print string. And let's copy the stream, paste it in here. Again, if you copy from here, doesn't matter. If we can also take it from down here, get it, it's the same thing. We can plug it in. Of course, that doesn't work. I don't know why that doesn't work. Can we convert it to, I don't know, text, string, integer? No. Anyways, I don't know how that works. But the idea is that we can get it to print the stream number. So if we see if it's just a random dungeon we're working with, we can get it. If we run into a problem or if it's a specific dungeon we really like, we can read the stream ID from the print string and we can write it down and we can use that stream if we like that. But I don't know how it works. So just delete this again. Again, let me know in the comments if you know how to print a stream. I don't. Alright, let's move on, guys. So guys, the next thing many of you have been asking about is how do I make different levels in the dungeon, you know, like basements, first floor, second floor. how do I create the dungeon in different levels. And I mean, I haven't tried it, but in my theory you should just make a room with a stair in it and move the exit points up. We don't need to do anything in the dungeon blueprint. So let's just take a room here. How are these rooms? Don't we have a room with 3 exits? Dungeon room 1. Is this the start room? Did we make a start room, guys? I can't remember. No. Anyways, we can take... Let's just take this dungeon. Dungeon room 2. Duplicate it. We call it dungeon stair room 1. Like this. Let's open it up. Let's see what we have. I mean, in theory, we could just move everything up here. So select the floor, select the walls. Like this. Can we just duplicate it? Control C, Control V. Yes, it ends up in the correct folder. We can move it up. I don't know I don't know how high we want this to be, but let's just make a room here. Like this. Alright, and then we need to close this one, copy this. Now I'm just making a room now. I mean, you can make your rooms however you want, right? And then we need a stair. So copy this, move it down here, scale it. We also need to close this. Just close it like this. I'm not going to spend time this time on trying to line things up because I can't do it anyways. So is this ever going to be some kind of stair? It's a little crazy, but doesn't matter. I'm just copy pasting this box. So something like this. Oh, I'm just copy pasting these blocks around. Copy paste, rotate, move it in here. Again, I'm not going to spend a shit ton of time on this. So now we have a stair room. Of course you need to make walls, close these walls, doesn't matter. We need to be able to see what we're doing right now, if it's working at all or if we're just wasting our time. So move this arrow up. To make it sit perfectly with the floor, otherwise we'll get a small gap. And I mean, guys, this should work in theory. Let's try it. So we need to go into the dungeon generator here, go to the room list, and we need to add a new room. Let's make 2 of these just to see, so we get a bigger chance of spawning it. And select the stair, dungeon stair room. we can just delete this one and then duplicate it. So now we have 2 stair rooms in the dungeon. Dungeon generator, it's still -1, so it's random. Let's try and see what's happening. Oh, another thing we forgot. We forgot to change the overlap box. Right, we need the overlap box to have the same dimensions. What's happening here? So 64, I can't see shit. Okay, it's down here. Can I just reset this to 32 and then use the scale instead? 32 scale. 40, 30, I don't know, 60, I don't know, guys. 20. It just needs to be kind of inside. Wireframe. So you can see the boxes go way down below the ground, which is bad. So I think we should fix that. So scale it again. I mean, we need to keep the rooms inside. You know, inside this you know, area of the rooms, inside the overlap box. All right. I'm sorry guys, it's a little clunky, but I mean, you will spend more time on your dungeon rooms to make them awesome. So now the room is already in there. Let's try and see what's going on. So now we have 2 stair rooms and it goes up and the dungeon is continuing above. And we have more stair rooms over here. You see, of course you need to make a stair down room. And we have some problems here. You can see the arrow and the floor is not really lining up. Why is that the case? Because this arrow needs to go down here. Right? Let's just open another room. See how it works. Okay, so it's just all right. So maybe the problem right here is that the room floor is higher up than the arrow. The arrow is in 0, so the arrow is where it's supposed to be, but the room is too high, right? So if you take all rooms and move them down to the floor, so the floor level kind of is at the same level as the arrow, then it should work. Front, you see the floor is not in 0, it's over here. Let's just do it right. Let's just see if we can do it correctly. Move it down to 0. That's 0. And the arrow is 0. That was 1 room. That was room 2. Room 1. Select all the walls and floors. Go to the front view. Move it down to 0. Should be 0 here. Room 3. Get into the front view. Move the floor down to 0. Alright. room 4, go to the front, select all the walls and the floor, move it down to the arrow. Dungeon room 5. I mean, I could speed this process up, but front, Jesus Christ, front wall, move it down like this. This is the arrow, it's in 0. Which room is this? Ah, it's the, yeah. And then we have the stair room, where we of course also need all these walls and the floors on the top to match with the arrow. Like this, go into front. So now you just need to know where the floor level is, and that is this line. So we need to move that down like this to the arrow. And then we of course need to make this stairpiece a little lower. Yeah, something like this. It's a stair room, that is what it is. It's easy to see. Let's go in. Did we do it on the, are we missing any rooms? No, let's see if it works now. See, guys, a stair room, and the next room is aligning perfectly. So, of course, the end walls needs to be moved down too. So now we have a dungeon in different layers. And of course, we need some kind of way to control, you know, how many stairs, ups and downs are we going to use. We also need to make some stairs that goes down, so you can get down from here again. But again, guys, this is not too bad, right? I haven't been thinking about doing something like this. That's next level shit, but I mean, it's just making a new room, move the exit points up or down to where the stairs are ending, and it will create rooms from that. It creates room from wherever the exit arrows are. So we don't even need to go into the dungeon generator to create specific level code or anything like that. I mean, it just works and just it just works. And remember to set your overlap box to the same size as the room, also in the Z-axis, in the height, so we don't get any overlaps. Let's try and make another one. See how it turns out. And I think the problem we have right here is, why is that a problem? That is because, I think maybe it's because the stair room has some problems in some way. Yeah, that's because the floor, again, the floor of the stair room is also not at 0. Right, you can see this icon here, that is 0, and the room. Okay, anyway, let's just do it as we did before. Select all the walls. Remember to select the overlap box, which is a little too big now, I can see, and select the arrow. Was the arrow selected? Yes. Go into front, move it down to the correct level here. Make sure the overlap box is not too big. 25, maybe 30, 28, whatever, just make sure it's still inside the room, but still the same size as the room, just a little smaller than the room. So again, should work. Yeah, see, now the stair rooms are also lining up. I mean, the problem here is my modeling. The stair modeling is not too good. But see, now we just get a dungeon that just goes up, and it's not very useful, to be honest. So, and that's why we need some kind of system that, let's say, we can only use 2 upstairs and 2 downstairs. When those are used, we will remove those rooms from the room list, something like that. Okay guys, let's try and see if we can do exactly that. Okay, let's try something. We will copy the room list. Okay, so what I'm trying to do right now is to make a room list with special rooms in it, like a stairs or throne room or clock tower or whatever, something that we can only have 1 of, for example. And so every time the dungeon has put down, like, let's say 10 rooms, then it will change the room list to the special room, put down room number 11 as a special room, and when that is done, go back to the regular room list again. Does that make sense? So we get 1 special room in the dungeon. And this could of course change, so we could do it every 5th room, for example, and then we'll fill the special room list with special rooms. And we'll make sure to remove, if let's say it puts down the clock tower room, when that is done, we will remove that from the special room list, so it cannot select the clock tower again. Okay, so we can only get 1 clock tower in the level. In this case, it will be a staircase. Let's see if we can make that happen. So first of all, we need to remove the 2 stair rooms again from the room list. So delete those 2. Delete. Then we need to copy the room list, duplicate it, call it special room list. For now, can we move it up here? We can. So we have room list, we have special room list. Compile it, then add. I don't know why it added all these. Remove this, add 1. Select the stair room. Alright, so now it has 1 thing it has the stair room in the special room list. Alright. So let's see where we are here. We are going down to the delete latest room if overlapping. This is where the successful room, if this is false, means that we are getting a room placed down, and we go down this line. Then if there's more room left, we will spawn the next room. If there's no more rooms left in our room amount, we will cap the holes and everything. Yeah, let's fix the holes later on. So what we want to do here, if there's more rooms left, if the room amount, let's get out the room amount here, copy paste it out. If this is, let's say, equal 10, like the room number 10 or 11, I can't really, again, the math here is just, when we have 10 rooms, the next room will be a special room, right? So hold down B and left click to get a branch, plug it in here, line it up, make everything small. So if the room amount is equal 10, we want to set the room list, drag it out, we want to set it. We want to set the room list to the special room list. So drag out the special room list, get it, and plug it in. So now the room list has been turned into the special room list. Yeah, I think. So if it's equal 10, we will use the special room list instead. and we will spawn the next room. If it's not 10, I think we need, okay, so get the room list again, set it, we need, see, this is the problem. We need to set it back to the room list and away from the special list, and we cannot do it like this because the room list right now is the special room list, right? So room number 12 will still be a special room because we changed the room list to the special room, and we need to fix this. So we need to set, we actually need 3 room lists, right? We need a room list called base room list, special room list, and one called room list, which is the one we have right here. This is a little messy, guys. I hope you see what I'm talking about here. So let's copy the room list again, duplicate it. Let's call this base room list, compile it, and it has all the basic rooms. Remove this one. So we need to take the room list. So right now we're changing things around. You need to look at the room list here, set it, the room list as the list that the rooms are getting selected from, and we can change this list to special room list or base room list. Let's just move it up. So we have room list, and this room list is what we will change all the time. That is where we take the rooms from, and it will be set to either the base room list or the special room list, depending on how many rooms we have already placed. Okay, maybe it doesn't. It might not make a lot of sense right now, and I'm also bad at explaining this. But let's just try it, and if it works, I will try and explain why it works. So if we have set 10 rooms down, we will change the room list to special room list, and we will place a new room which will be a special room. So the next room where this will be 11, which means it's not 10. If it's not 10, we go down here and we will change this room list to the base room list, the original room list again. And then copy this, copy, paste, and we will spawn the next room. You can also just plug it up here, but I think this looks messy, so we just do it like this. So we have our lines. Anyways, guys, this should in theory be exactly what we need to make this work. So base room list is all the dungeon rooms, special room list is the stair. We are not removing anything right now. Let's see. So in theory right now we should get 1 stair room. We have it over here. But yeah, okay, it will be one of the last. You can see, okay, over here, let's select the dungeon generator. You can see room amount. We start off with 30. That is why the stair room came so late in the process, because we need to place down 20 rooms first before we can, the room amount is down to 10, and it will place the staircase. Let's press. You see how the room numbers go down? When it reaches 10, it sets the stair room, which is not really leading anywhere, but let's try again. Yeah, here it leads somewhere else. So I think what we can try and do here is we can say also on 20. So if it's equal 10, let's try equal again. Put in equal here. Let's make some room. So if it's equal 10 or if it's equal 20, then now we need an OR I think or boolean. So it's if it's 10 or if it's 20. If any one of these is true, it will use the special room list instead of the base room list. So now we should get 2 staircases, if I'm not mistaken. That was 1, that was 2. So I mean, it looks like it works. Yeah, we're getting 2 staircases now. That goes up every time, but that's how we made the room. And again, the staircases will just be put down randomly every 10th and every 20th room, and it works. And this could be, again, it could be a throne room, it could be a clock tower, it could be I don't know, anything you want it to be, that a room that you can only have a few of in your level, maybe only 1. So you can see now it's getting a little more complicated. So I'm not sure if that makes any sense at all. It might be a messy solution, this thing here and all this, and there might be better ways of doing it, but I don't know any better ways of doing it, and it kind of keeps it simple to understand what's going on here. To me it does, at least. But this is a fairly easy and simple way of just changing the room list to contain a special room at certain points in the generation, and then when that room has been placed, it switches back to the base rooms again. Best case, we need a way to, let's say it places down the clock tower, we need a way to remove that clock tower from the special room list if it's the clock tower that gets selected, so it doesn't get selected again. Right now I don't have a good solution on how to do that, so I will just leave that for now. Maybe we can put that into part 3 if we are getting that far. We'll see about that. So yeah, this is a kind of a quick and dirty way of doing it, getting 2 special rooms in. I mean, it kind of works, right? And we got the staircase room to work also. And we had limit the amount of staircase rooms that is getting put into the dungeon by doing it this way. And I think that must be good enough for now. Let's see if we can improve this in the future, maybe. No one knows. Okay, we will leave this as it is right now. And now I want to go in and make spawn points, so you can spawn whatever you want randomly in these dungeon rooms. So let's just close all these rooms for now. Yeah, and then we need to go into what did we call it? Master room. So we go into the master room, and then we make a new folder, a scene, and we call it floor spawn points or locations or whatever you want to call it. And then we compile it. And this will be things will be spawning on the floor, like enemies, coins, treasure chest, the player, things like that. Then later on you can make wall spawn points, ceiling spawn points, and so on. Or you can just keep everything in under one called spawn points. Doesn't really matter. But floor spawn points, then we know what it is. It is things we're going to spawn on the floor. So in here, under floor spawn points, we will create an arrow. Again, arrow. We call it spawn point. I mean, it could be a cube, it could be anything. It's just a location. Let's boot up the size on this arrow, and we will rotate it 90 degrees. No, that's not rotation. Oops, sorry. Rotation 90 degrees, like that, so it points up. We will not be using the rotation or the scale, only the location. We call it spawn point 1, like this, because the next one will be called 2. Can we get a space in between here? 2, so 1. Okay, so place it where you want things to spawn, copy paste, move it around. We'll just make some random ones here. Something like this. I mean, you can do whatever you want. In my new game, I will these are everywhere, so everything can spawn anywhere. So something like this. These are the spawn points. Compile. That is dungeon room 1. So we select spawn point 1, Control C to copy it, go to dungeon room 2, floor spawn points, paste it. I don't know why they are not getting pasted in here anyways, but they need to be under this folder, otherwise the system doesn't work. Then just, you know, copy these around again. Something like this. Compile. We can just select them all, copy, go to dungeon room 3, floor spawn points. I mean, we did this in part 1 also for the exit points, right? Looks fine. Place them where you want, doesn't matter too much. Copy. Dungeon room 4. Paste it, move it to floor spawn points. Beautiful. Compile. Dungeon room 5. That is the hallway. Paste it. Alright, so we can just need to move these back into the hallway here. And remember to place these inside of the folder. I'm forgetting to do that in this clip. And of course, place these where it makes sense in your game, right? Make sure they're standing exactly on the floor, because that is where treasure chest and other things will spawn from, so they don't intersect with the floor. So go to room, stair room. We also need stuff in here. What just happened? I don't know. Spawn points, paste it. See, these are stretched, right? Or what? Why are they stretched? Anyways, put them in the floor spawn points. Why are they stretched? Are they? Anyways, that doesn't really matter, but it's a bit weird anyways. This is not scaled, so default everything, so maybe they're not stretched anyway. It's just me. So take some of these, move. Why can't I select them? What is going on here? I can't select them. Okay, delete those. I'm not sure what is happening. Dungeon room 1, copy all the spawn points, paste them. Why it's all, what is, Is it my viewport here that is fucked? Oh, so now it's not fucked anymore. I don't know, guys, what that was about. Paste it in. So now they look right for some reason. Move them up. Make sure they are exactly on the floor. So select the points. Move them up, the ones that are inside the staircase. Move it like this. I mean, that is fine. There's one inside staircase. Just get it up. Again, maybe you can just skip to the next chapter in the video. I will make sure to make chapters this time so you can skip things like this. Or you can keep watching the... I don't mind. Move it. Alright, so that was the last room. Now all the rooms, remember to save, all the rooms have spawn points now. So now we need to get into the dungeon generator and we need to add all those points to a list as we have done before. So make a new custom event, call it add floor spawn points to list, and then we need to get the latest room, the room that has been spawned. We need to get the floor spawn points. Yes, it's down here. Get the floor spawn points. It already knows it's the master room that this room comes from. Drag out, get children. We have done this in part 1 too. Get children components. So we need to get all the children inside this folder. And we need to append it. Append array, and we need to move it to the bottom. Oops, almost crashed. Move it to the bottom. So we right click on the empty here, promote to variable, then we have an array which is a list. We call this array for floor spawn list, and we plug it in like this, and that is what we need to do to add all the spawn points to a list. Press C, call this add floor spawn, Jesus man, points to list. I usually just call these comments the same as the event it is encapsulating, right? So now we have that event. Where do we play this event? When does this happen? Let's see, when does the exit point stuff happen? So let's go down, probably with the overlapping here. So we could, I think we can just plug it in here. So yeah, I think we need to move all this forward, make some room. And then I think we can plug it in here when the room is successful. So go into the event graph over here, add floor spawn points to list, custom event, drag it in, plug it in here. And there we go. So far so good. Compile. Okay, so now we need to make the event that selects a random spawn points and spawns an actor, which could be a coin or a trap or anything like that. So let's go down here. Let's make a custom event and call it spawn, let's just say coin at location. Spawn coin at location. So first of all, we need to let the dungeon know how many coins we are planning to spawn. So we make a new variable here. Let's call it coin amount. We will make it into an integer. We will, over to the right, click on instance editable, expose on spawn, so we can control it from outside this blueprint. Compile it. Then let's just say how many coins do we want. 30 coins, 50 coins, right? Drag it out, get coin amount. So if the coin amount is less or equal to 0, that means we have no more coins left to place. Press B and left click to make a branch. So this is and plug it in here. This is the first thing we need to check. Do we have enough coins to even spawn one? We can't spawn any coins if they're all used up. Which means that if the coin amount is lower or equal to 0, less or equal to 0, then it's true, and then we don't do anything, we don't spawn anything. If it's not less or equal to 0, that means we have more coins in the pocket. Then we go out from false. But we need to select a point first. So we need to get this floor spawn list out, drag it out, get it. We need to get the list, and we need to select a random one, a random point from the list. And this is again where we have to use the stream. So drag out, type in random array item from stream. Normally we use the random array item to just get a random one, but we need to get the random one from stream. So it's the same every time, that stream number is the same. And we already have the stream that is down here. Drag it in, get it, and plug it in here. So now it's selecting a random point from stream, and which will be this one. So we need to drag out here and promote this one to variable. So we know, so we have the spawn point here. This is the selected spawn point. So rename this to selected floor spawn location or spawn point, whatever. It's doesn't matter. All right. So compile it, and then we can go and say, after the spawned location has been selected, we want to spawn actor from class. This is where we select the gold coin. We need to get the location of this where the actor needs to spawn, so we can right click on the transform and say split. The scale needs to be 1, the rotation needs to be 0, and the location we need to get from the spawn location that has been selected. So we can drag out, hang on, I need to compile. Where is the selected floor spawn point? Selected floor spawn location. Why is it in here? I don't know why. Anyways, I was just expecting it to be in this with everything else, but it's inside components for some reason. I don't know why. The exit points are too. Doesn't matter. You grab it, drag it out, get it, And then we need to get the location. Get world location. So we want to get where it is in the world, and you drag it in to spawn transform location. Compile. It will show you an error because it right now is not spawning anything, and apparently that's an error. And remember to go down to collision and select always spawn, ignore collision, so other geometry is not pushing it around, so it ends up in weird places. When this has spawned, we want to remove it from the list, the spawn point, so other things are not spawning on the same spawn point. So get the floor spawn list, drag it out, get it, drag out, say remove, remove item, plug it in here, and also get the selected floor spawn location, get it and plug it in here. So it's removing this location spawn point from the list, so now it's no longer in the list and it cannot be selected again for the next coin. When that is done, we want to subtract 1 from the coin amount, so drag out the coin, get it, we want to get how many we have left. We want to drag out and say subtract 1 coin from the amount we have, and then we need to drag out the coin again and select set it, so we want to set the new amount. So we're getting the coin amount, let's say it's 10 or 50, we subtract 1, then it's 49. Then we set the new coin amount to the result of this, which is 49. So now the coin amount is 49. And when that is done, we want to drag this all the way back to the branch. We want to check. Let's just move this so we can double click the new line here, move it up, move this down. Place it so it looks awesome. Set a new point here, double click it, move it up so you can see that it's a loop. This is a loop, it goes all the way back. Now we check again, do we have more coins left? If we have, go ahead, select a new point, spawn the new coin, remove the spawn point from the list, remove 1 coin from the amount, then check again how many do we have now. When it reaches 0, we won't do anything. So that's it for this thing, guys. So select everything, press C, call it spawn coin at location. Let's keep it gray, we don't know if it works. Now we need to make a coin, because we're getting an error here. We have no coins in here. So again, guys, I will just keep everything in the procedural dungeon folder for now, so we know where stuff is. This is the blue folder. Right click, blueprint class, actor, coin, pick up. And I mean, this is just to show you guys how you can spawn random stuff at random locations in the dungeon. Maybe your game don't need any coins, doesn't matter, then maybe it needs something else. So let's make a coin. We are in the blueprint now. Add, is there a cylinder? Add a cylinder. Call it coin. Maybe call it coin mesh. That's more appropriate. So scale it down like this. I don't know how big this coin should be. 0.2, 0.2, 0.02, I don't know. drag it up, rotate it so it looks like a coin pickup. Whoa. I have no idea how big this thing is. Compile it. And you can see the center of this blueprint is down here, which means that the coin will spawn. This point right here will be set to the selected location in the dungeon rooms, which means that the coin will be floating. And I think we want that, right? You can go in here and add a rotator. I think rotating movement it's called. We add that. We go over here to the right. Rotation rate. Let's just try and say simulate. Yeah, it's rotating around the correct axis. It's a little offset. So go into what? Left view. What? This is just taking up all the space. Nah, I think it's fine. Looks fine to me. So compile this blueprint and go into the dungeon generation. Plug it in here. Just press the arrow. Because the blueprint is already selected out here, you can just go in, press the arrow, and it will put this selection in here. Compile it, and there should be no errors. So guys, up here we put all the spawn points into the list, and we are doing that down here. So that is active. So we need spawn the coins at location. We need to do that after the holes. I think we can just plug it in here, move all this to the side, get the spawn coin at location, plug it in here. So when the holes has been capped, then we spawn all the gold coins, and then the dungeon will be complete. Let's see if it works. This is the this is where everything can go wrong. Press play. 30 room dungeon. Dungeon complete. We're not getting any coins. Let's search over here. Coin. We're not getting any coins. Alright. Let's see what that is about. Go into the dungeon generation again. I am not really sure what is going on. Let's go and select the dungeon. We have the coin amount here. Let's watch if anything is happening to this amount when the dungeon is complete, or right before it completes. No, so it's not running. So let's see what's happening in here. Double click it, not that one. In the bottom here, spawn coin at location. So we have 50 coins. When it's less or equals 0, if that is true, it should do nothing. So here we have one problem. Move it down to false. You can move these around by holding Control and drag it. If it's less or equals 0, we don't want to spawn anything new. If it's not equal, that means we have more left. Then we want to go here. So we're getting location. But are we now? We're spawning the coin. Always spawn. We are removing the spawn location. We are removing one coin. I mean, it should work, right? Let's try again. We're looking at coin over here. Coin amount 50. It went down to 0. So we have coins. They're just super small. Alright, let's just go into the coin, make it bigger so we can actually see what is happening. Turn the lock on, 0.5, move it up, give it something shiny. Ooh, we have one here. Can we get more shiny stuff? I don't know. Maybe it's shiny enough. Compile. Try again. Make a dungeon. Where are we? Here we are. There we go. See? We have coins, guys. And again, of course, you need to go into your coin blueprint. Make sure that when your character is walking over it or picks it up, that it will disappear. Right, you make your coin work, right? So stop it. Let's see if we can play. New editor window. We have all these arrows. Remember to set all these arrows to hidden. Whoa, that took a long time before these spawned. Why? We have them. Why? Let's press simulate again. So when the dungeon is complete, and that is because I don't know, we have a delay here. 1 second after the dungeon is finished, it will cap the holes, so we could see the holes. Just try and set it to 0. So caps the holes, spawn the coins at location, completes the dungeon, stops the timer, and writes dungeon complete so everyone can see it. Play again. There we go, guys. We have random coins spawning. Of course, just put a shit ton of spawn points in here and these coins can spawn anywhere. And again, if someone have a better way of spawning things in the dungeon, right now I'm setting a spawn location point for every possible spawn location, which is a little much when you have a lot of rooms and you have all these spawn locations there. So there must be a better way of doing this, but this is the way I'm doing it in my new secret game. And actually also the way I'm doing it in the Adventures of GORM. So there we have it, guys. So guys, we know this works now. We make it green. I mean, maybe we can just try and set the coin amount to 100. See how that works. Of course, you cannot spawn more coins than you have spawn points. Then it will probably give you an error and saying that this is not available. Or maybe it will just spawn in world 0 location. I don't know. Let's try with 100. Where's the dungeon? Here. So now we have a shit ton of coins. So I think that part works. You go in here, select all the coins. The coin pick up 99 and we have one called 0. So there's 100 coins right now. Let's say we want to spawn a treasure chest. And this is okay, so now we come to the point where people who know blueprints and programming will probably don't like me. But this is a simple and easy way of doing it, right? So you mark this, Control C to copy it, go down here, Control V to paste it. We can do this in a smarter way. I might go into that, but let's just do it the fast way here. So we take the event, we call it spawn treasure chest at location. I mean, the location part, you can just spawn treasure chest would also work, right? Compile. So the coin amount, we need to copy that, duplicate it, call it, let's call it chest amount. I mean, you already know how to do this right now, right? How many chests do we want? Let's just want 5 treasure chests, coins 50. So we are getting the floor spawn list from the stream. We're getting a location. We need to plug in a treasure chest here. We need to remove one from treasure chest and not coin, so just drag the chest. Okay, words are hard. Drag the chest amount in on top of the coin amount, like this. Also drag the chest amount on top of the coin amount here where we set it. That should be all we need to do. Now we need to go and make the treasure chest. So right click, make a new blueprint class, make it an actor, call it treasure chest. Where does it go into the treasure chest? And then you just have to make a very pretty treasure chest in here. So cube, we have a huge cube here, like this. Can you make a what do you call it, triangle, cylinder, cone, cube? I don't know, let's just make another cube. Drag it up, rotate it 90, 40, 45, 45 degrees. Scale it down like this, 0.7. See guys, it's already looking like a treasure chest. Move it up in world. Wow. This is mind-blowing, guys. Whoa. This is apparent for some reason. Don't know why. So there it could figure out how to add it to the selected thing over here. Anyways. Can we make it look more like a treasure chest? I don't think so. Alright, it's a treasure chest, guys. Remember to make sure that it is standing on the floor. Right, so select these two things, move them down to the floor like this. There we have a treasure chest on the floor. Go to the dungeon generator, make sure it's selected down here. Generator, plug it in here. And then we need to make sure that this is that we are playing this at some point, and we need to go up and just do it after the coin. Move this to the side. Drag in, spawn treasure chest at location. Plug it in here. And compile. Let's see if it spawned 5 treasure chests. See, we get the 2 stairs. It's awesome. We have coins. Do we have any chests? We have no chests. Alright, why? Spawn treasure chest. Coin amount. Alright. We need to put chest amount in here. Chest amount. Chest amount. Chest amount. Treasure chest. Let's try again. Dungeon complete. We have a treasure chest. Look at that, man. We have, ooh, jackpot room. Look at these awesome chests, man. I just want to go and pick them up, right? You come in here. Whoa, which one do I pick, right? All these coins. Fantastic, guys. Do we have anything above? We also have things above. On the second floor. We even have on the third floor too. Look at this. This is how you spawn random stuff in your dungeon. Alright, let's stop it. Save all. Save everything because everything is working. I mean, I'm hoping it's working for you too. It's not just my system here that works. So the thing is, guys, I'm doing the same thing twice here, and every programmer that is watching this know anything. I mean, programmers usually say that if you are copying and pasting code around, then you're doing something wrong. This should not be necessary. It should be possible to make a custom event or a function that takes care of this one time, and then you just, you know, plug in if it's a chest or a coin you want to spawn, like you're getting something like this with some more options where you plug in your actor, you plug in the amount instead of doing it twice, right? Then you just make one event or function that has more options so you can plug stuff into it. But I'm not that strong in things like that yet. I know you can do it, but I will be fumbling around for the next 45 minutes to figure out how to do that. So this is the kind of the simple and easy way to doing it. So you just, I mean, just copy paste this for if you want to spawn an enemy, if you want to spawn something else like the player character, you can spawn the player character in the same way. You just select the player character over here. So this is, I mean, and you will be expanding this down with copy paste, and that is a bad thing, but I mean, for what we're doing here, I think it's fine. Let's not go into more advanced stuff, also because I'm having a hard time figuring it out myself, and I don't want to confuse you with redoing a lot of stuff we just did, just to make it a little cleaner. It's this should be fairly easy to understand what's going on here, right? So the last thing we need to do here is we need to go into the end wall because it was kind of floating. Select it, go into right or front. Just make sure that is sitting on the floor. Right, make sure your floor is at 0, the arrows, exit arrows is at 0, and the end wall here is at 0 also, so everything is standing on 0. I mean, it should work now. Yeah, see, all the end walls are fine. I don't know where they are. Where are the end walls? There we go. Here's an end wall. And it's sitting perfectly on the floor as it should. So that's it, guys. That was the second part of this dungeon tutorial. I was very surprised that the part 1 did so well and so many people watched it and was interested in it, and also interested in a part 2. I mean, that really surprised me. I wasn't expecting anyone to watch this tutorial. I am super happy, guys, that you're supporting this video and this channel and you're watching this stuff I'm creating. I don't think I'm doing very well at this at all, but you keep reminding me that it's actually pretty good what I'm doing here. So guys, I'm super happy that you are here and you're watching my stuff. That's just what I want to say here. I have been thinking about stuff to do for part 3 in this tutorial, but then we're moving into more advanced and confusing stuff, and I'm not sure if I can do that. I will think about what we can add for part 3. Please give me some suggestions in the comments and I will see if I can do it. If it turns out that it is too complicated and too difficult for me to do, then part 2 will be the last part for this tutorial. But you know, anything can happen, no one knows. And again guys, thank you very much for watching and see you next time.